Hello, everybody. I am here on the latest version of Yume version 0.124F, patch 3 at the time of recording, and I am joined with Namedude. Say hello.
Hello, I'm Namedude. I made the Reef Maze route in Yume.
Yeah, and I'm thinking of just making a video, just running through these worlds, and having him provide a little bit of commentary about the worlds and how they came to be, and about a little bit of the lore behind them too.
Yeah. Some people actually think that there isn't any sort of story or lore behind the Reef Maze worlds, and there's actually a lot of really weird story and like lore and stuff that I wrote for these areas that I just told in a very vague manner, I suppose.
Awesome. So your route starts here, right? What is this world called?
Um, Reef Maze. It was originally called Coral Lab, but Yume Wiki decided it's called Reef Maze, so I guess we're going with that. um, Technically, my first world was Violet Galaxy, which introduces Olive and the Open Eye, which are two sort of important characters, but the world itself isn't very important.
I will
I feel
definitely go
like
visit
this.
that at the end.
Yeah, we can go visit that at the end if you want.
All right. So why all this coral?
So this world was actually based off a dream I had, where I was in this big, like, weird, squishy area, and there was a bunch of, like, coral and stuff protruding from the ground and walls and stuff, and there was this weird flesh monster chasing after me. I had this dream a little while after I made my first world, which was Violet Galaxy, and I was just like, I guess I'm just gonna turn that into a world, why not? So, yeah, that's how this came to be.
That's how I think the best worlds were created in this game.
For a while, I was thinking of going back and revamping this world's graphics, but I don't know. I feel like every time any game does a sort of revamp of its original graphics, it kind of either makes it look a little worse, or the people who liked the old graphics will just like really want the old graphics back in. So I
Yeah,
decided to not go for it.
that's fair, honestly.
I've
Um,
learned a lot through making these worlds. I was not a very good pixel artist in the beginning, but I've improved, I'd say.
I would say too. You are. I see definite improvement. Like even just in the cutscenes between Reef Maze and Found Forest, right? If you just look at those two side by side, big
Oh
improvement,
yeah,
I would
I
say.
mean, because first of all, I'm a Flash animator, but you know, since Yume Tuki's made in RPG Maker 2000, I can't uh, I can't actually just animate it like you would normally animate something in Flash or Toon Boom or whatever. I have to kind of
Mm-hmm.
program my animations and stuff, and that takes a while to master. Like you gotta figure out how things look and how things look good.
I have no idea how
So,
to animate, so I'll just take your word for it.
well, yeah, basically the
Um,
way it works is that I all of my frames are image files that I import into RPG Maker, and then I use the show command and move command and stuff to show them and remove them and manipulate them and all of that stuff in ways that portray animation. So it's a very limited form of animation, but it works in my case.
it definitely does. So I'm over here, this bloody note on the floor. I'm interacting with this bloody note. There's this creature that appears.
That creature is called the Open Eye, and it's pretty much the main antagonist of not just the Reef Maze route, but all of my maps.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if I've said this before, but I'm planning on the Open Eye being very prominent in pretty much all of the maps I make that have any sort of story.
Ooh.
He's my main antagonist to say.
So what you're saying is we're not through seeing him yet.
Oh no, he's gonna come back.
Awesome. Alright. So if I leave this room, here's where the cool stuff starts to happen.
Yeah, a lot of people. If I'm not just known for my cutscenes, I'm also known for the chase sequences I do, which some people have kind of a love-or-hate relationship with.
The Cyclops guy's dead now.
Yeah, he's dead.
Yeah, he's dead.
Very, very dead.
I am being chased by a monster.
I'm still not sure. I'm still not sure what that monster exactly is. I'll have to figure out in like the lore where to place him, because one thing I definitely regret when making this, the whole Reef Namedude, is that I didn't plan anything out. It was just something fun to do during the summer, so I just kind of winged it, which made the story kind of feel like, okay, I gotta figure out how to make this make sense or this make sense. So there's a lot of patching up I still have to do with the story to make it not a sloppy mess. So sorry.
That's fair. I had to turn down my Tuki a little bit because I feel like this track is just blasting over your speaking.
Yeah, Breakcore is.
Can you tell me about this track?
This track was made in FL Studio, and I just kind of threw a few samples together and made I think a loop with the like step sequencer, and just it was very, very brief. It was like it wasn't something that I spent a ton of time on, because I just thought tense breakcore track or breakcore-ish track to just like make the mood seem all like, oh fuck, I gotta run. But people love it for some reason. I don't get why, but maybe that's just because I didn't spend a ton of time making it.
Alright.
Oh well.
I just got a key from this very happy computer in this very cool cutscene. You were telling me about the picture events that go into making this.
That was the actual the first real cutscene I made. The first technical cutscene I made was that Cyclops dude. Before he died in that scene, you could find him in Violet Galaxy, and if you interacted with him, there was this full screen thing where you could see him blink. But that was kind of the first time I dabbled with animation in Yume. The thing where you grab the key was the first time where I actually like made an animation and a cutscene in Yume. So yeah, that took a while to make.
I bet.
It was pain.
I bet.
Because it was before I actually like got into the workflow.
So
and
nowadays,
before I storyboarded anything.
Yeah.
I didn't storyboard anything back then.
So nowadays you do have like kind of a system for it, right?
Yeah. Well, maybe not like a full-on system, but like I have a workflow for making cutscenes. Like I know what to do. I didn't know what I was doing back then.
All right. Still looks good though.
Yeah, I'd say it turned out well. The only thing I have a complaint about that, which I still need to fix, is the fact that I didn't know about preloading back then. The way Yume Online works is that since it is an online game, it has to preload every like full screen picture that it sees.
Luckily,
so
we're not playing on Yume Online.
Well, yeah, you're playing from the client, but on Yume Online, if an image is just displayed without being preloaded, then there's a little bit of a delay, like a flicker, I guess, before it loads, which means that that specific cutscene using so many images to like show it is super flickery and fucked up when you're playing on Yume Online, and that's when I learned I gotta preload all this shit before I like actually make the cutscenes. So that was a good learning experience, I guess.
Yeah, so that's why later on we'll see a little like preloading images thing pop up before all the other cutscenes. Or most of the other cutscenes. I used to not
have... In Lost Forest, it does preload the images, but...
It doesn't tell you.
there was only one cutscene, and it was so
Mhm.
like short that there wasn't really a need for it to preload, like have a loading screen.
Mhm. Lost Forest. There's little meowing spider guys and this green guy here who's kind of crying. Can you tell me about this green guy?
That green guy is Olive, and you'll see his like little like best friend or companion or whatever later named Seru, who
Mhm.
a lot of people love, for some reason. I didn't expect Olive or Seru to really get any attention, but they're like
Oh,
my main guys
uh,
now, I guess.
there was also a Cyclops
Um,
that I just interacted with that flashed out of existence. I think the open eye appeared behind him. That was creepy.
yeah, he's like the ghost of the
The Cyclops in Reef
the
Maze.
Cyclops. Yeah, in Reef Maze. So in Reef Maze, that was when the Cyclops was alive and he was orange. I like to
Uh-huh.
consider orange when like he's alive, and when he turns blue, that means he's dead. So technically, when you go to Violet Galaxy, he's still dead. Then, so I'd say Reef Maze is technically, in terms of like a timeline, the first in the timeline. What
That's
I was gonna
crazy.
say actually is I have some concept art for Reef Maze that I drew, or not Reef Maze, for Lost Forest that I drew, hung up on the
Ooh.
wall here. So um, I could send a picture to that of that to you, and you could put it up if you wanna.
So yeah,
Um,
this place is fucking weird. It's got like
it is weird.
shadowy static people everywhere.
It wasn't based on a dream. It was just it was a very emotional map. I
Mm-hmm.
was made in a very rough part of my life. For those who don't know, I have epilepsy. Not photosensitive, so flashing lights don't affect me. I just have seizures randomly, and it
Mm.
fucking sucks, as you could probably imagine. Um, anyways, this was around the time where I had to go through an EEG scan, and EEGs are very, very hard for me. um,
Man.
because I have to like stay the night and stuff. If you don't know what an EEG is, look it up. I'm not good at explaining things, but a lot of this map was actually made during my EEG because I had my laptop with me. So whenever I think of this map, I usually think of those times and stuff, and how this map actually helped me to kind of get through it a lot. Um, I don't know. I usually don't talk about the whole epilepsy stuff because I don't want to. I don't know, I feel like I'm getting too like woe is me with that shit, but it's just something that I felt like I should talk about in regards to this.
Interesting.
But
So that definitely affected the feel of these maps going forward.
yeah, I also knew the like this didn't have to do with the epilepsy thing, but I this was around the time I knew what kind of theme I wanted to go for with my characters, which
Mm-hmm.
was redemption, like bad things happening to you and bad people making you do bad things and you trying to like make up for it.
Well, I think we're gonna see a
Um,
bad thing happen soon. This
oh
party
yeah,
looks
you
like it
will.
can't last for long.
It won't last for long. I'll say that.
All right. Who is this guy? Is this the Seru you mentioned?
That is Seru.
Kind of gray,
Seru is
really.
actually
I'm joking.
a bluish gray. I like to think of it as like a desaturated gray
Yeah.
or a desaturated blue. Um, Seru was actually a character that I made a while ago in like Flash for like some Flash game.
Mm-hmm.
Um, he, they were originally uh, red, which I ended up recycling for Cherry, who shows up later. And I'm just gonna say this because I assume whoever's watching this already went through my maps. Cherry is Seru's older sister.
Anyway, I'm gonna get the show rolling by interacting with him.
Yep. So some people think Seru did this on their own volition. Seru's actually a very nice person. Seru is being possessed by the Open Eye, who I consider like somewhat of a possessive entity, to do all this stuff. So Seru isn't a bad person, I'd say. Seru's just being controlled, I guess you could put it.
Very dark cutscene. I don't particularly want him to do any more things like that. Kind of bad.
Yeah, I
Murder's
mean,
not
again,
okay.
he can't really control it. So in this next map, what's happening is Seru went to like this laboratory to hide out. Then he got possessed and killed a bunch of people. So, um, we'll see what he's about to do.
I can see I can see the ghosts here, and they are
Yeah,
screaming
those
at
are all
me.
the ghosts.
The ghosts are the ghosts are screaming at me.
Well, they're more sort of spectrogramming at you, but you know,
They
like
are
close enough.
spectrogramming at me. That's
There was
correct.
an ARG that happened around like after the was it after the
It was after I think Ink Forest got released.
yeah, it was after Ink Forest. The ARG happened around that time. For
Mm-hmm.
those who don't know, there was an ARG that related to my worlds in the YNO server.
Oh, wait, there's a cutscene.
Oh
Roadsugi's on
yeah.
an elevator.
So Seru is about to do something not good, but the Open Eye he or it more so stops Seru because you know
He
the
needs
Open
his
Eye need
willing victim to control it. Or unwilling victim, I should say.
well yeah the Open Eye needs a puppet.
Exactly.
This is where things get really dark. Um,
Okay,
and
now I go
I don't
to
really think
Ink.
I want
Or do I go to the third
to.
one?
You go to the third one.
Okay.
I don't think I want to elaborate on that stuff. It's
Hall of Memories.
feelings. You get what I mean.
Yeah. I am curious about these pictures that I'm seeing in Hall of Memories. Why
pictures of Seru's childhood.
Why Seru though? Why is the Open Eye controlling him specifically?
Well, because I should probably elaborate on this
Saw another
in
flash
some
of him.
like in like a flashback or something.
Yeah,
but Cherry died at some point,
mm-hmm.
and the whole goal of all this is to reverse the timeline so that Cherry can basically kick the Open Eye's ass. But after Cherry's death, the Open Eye needed a new puppet, basically. And Seru was the perfect puppet. Seru's, Cherry's younger sibling. So the Open Eye decided, you know what, I'm just gonna latch on to Seru. But this is Seru growing up. This was before I created Cherry, so that's why she's not in any of the pictures. I might add her into the pictures.
You should totally retcon her into these pictures. I think that's a good use of updating your maps.
I'm just planning on when I add my new world into this the game, which yes, I am working on a new world just because the route ended doesn't mean that that I'm done making worlds. But I am planning on adding I am planning on fixing some things in the Reef Maze route just so the quote unquote like canon, I guess, feels a little bit more consistent.
Definitely. I would want to see, I guess, some stuff being updated to like how do I phrase this? Like, yeah, tie the canon together better. No, less loopholes. No, not plot holes. Less plot holes.
Yeah. Again,
Cherry
a lot
in more
of this
places.
was made like on the spot,
I just triggered
just
a cutscene.
because. Oh.
I just triggered the cutscene in Hall of Memories.
The one where you start the chase, or the one where
the one where I start the chase.
Okay. I intentionally made this chase to be fucking difficult And I think I succeeded at that. I tried to make it so that areas you thought would be like the right path or would be the wrong path, and areas you thought would be the wrong path would be the right path, because you can kind of tell in your brain which path would might be the right one and which path might be the wrong one.
I think this
So
is my favorite
used
chase
that
that you've made.
It's my favorite chase that I've made too.
Can you talk about the music
I
a bit?
like what the music.
Yeah. Or, well,
yeah, this music is.
talk about the cutscene first, because I just blew through that chase like it was nothing.
Oh. This cutscene is kind of just Seru basically being like, you can't control me. Even if you can control me, you can't control me. I'm going back to Olive and hanging out with him.
You just beats the shit out of this demon.
Oh yeah. Well, you can't beat the shit out of a demon without it like coming back and, for revenge and stuff, but I thought the idea of Seru and Olive hugging would be very heartwarming. A lot of people had an interpretation that Seru was schizophrenic, and that's what the demon, the open eye, was. And I actually like that interpretation, even if it's not the actual, storyline and stuff. And honestly, the thing is, even if I do have a set vision and storyline for like what this whole route is, you can come up with whatever answers you want. If you think Seru is schizophrenic and the open eye isn't even a physical being, then you're right. That's your interpretation.
I thought Seru and Olive were dating.
I made most of the music up until Ink Forest.
Okay.
Which is when I started asking other people to like help with the music. Ink Forest's music was made by I know who they are. I talk with them often, but I keep forgetting what. Oh yeah, it was made by someone I met on Twitter named 3ZS7173, which is an odd name, but no offense to them. They're really nice. But
to be fair, I forgot there was a cutscene when I entered Ink Forest. Olive just died in front of.
Oh, that's a hallucination. All of the Ink Forest is supposed to be like a dream thing.
A bad dream.
Yeah, they're a Japanese chiptune composer.
Okay.
They're very talented.
And they made just this track here, right?
Yeah, they made most of the tracks in Ink Forest.
Okay. Most? Not all?
I'm only saying most because the cutscene where Olive's chest burst open, that was that music was made by
That's
me.
crazy.
But
I just found
else.
a tree that you can walk through in Ink Forest.
God fucking damn it. A lot of ideas in this world were actually made by Autumn, because this was a collaboration between me and Autumn. She's really cool, and
she is. She's also a friend of mine.
She's super nice.
So, if I remember correctly, there's a chaser here that I don't like.
There's a few chasers here that I kind of added in at last minute. I don't really like them much either. So I'll probably either remove them or give them a better purpose.
I think I just went the wrong way. Little bit of a maze here in Ink Forest. Or Ink Woods.
I kind of intended
What's it called?
Ink Forest.
Okay.
There are a lot of forests that I've made.
A lot of forests. Anyway, I'm in the tower now.
This was very hard to program. I will say not the tower, the steps, because I've never done steps before, especially not in RPG Maker. So the steps were just
they're a little weird.
Yeah, sorry about that.
I don't know how to get back down the stairs. I think it's impossible.
You don't.
That's crazy. Another collision issue here. It's fine. What are we gonna... There's a lot of dead bodies.
Again, this is
and
happening
Cyclops.
in the dreams of Seru,
Mm-hmm.
as implied in the opening cutscene.
Alright, there are 2 NPCs here at the top of the tower.
That's Seru and an angel called Forgiveness.
Hello,
She's
Forgiveness.
like the inner forgiveness of Seru, being able to like forgive himself for all the stuff he did.
Well, I'm glad he can forgive himself. Time to time travel.
I mean, what good is a horror-ish story without fucking time travel?
Right?
I don't know. I can't even remember why I decided to incorporate time travel. I think I just thought it would be cool, to be completely honest.
Yeah, I guess.
In the end, it made things more complicated, but whatever.
I guess we could talk about the ARG a bit while I'm traveling to.
Yeah, I mean, like, you were there for
course.
it, so you can give your perspective on it if you want.
How did it start again? An email?
It was
a YouTube channel? Twitter post?
I think it was technically a Twitter post where I just had an announcement, and it was like a little poster saying like, "Hey, new world happened," and it was for Ink Forest.
Yeah.
And then if you like brightened the image, there would be fucking. Sorry, someone pinged me on Discord. If you brightened the image, there would be an email address, and if you sent an email to the address, then you would get an image back, like a little portion of an image. And everyone got different portions of the image, and if you put them together like a puzzle, it would reveal a picture of Cherry for the first time. I believe that's how it started.
Mm-hmm.
Then more emails got sent out for kind of just explaining the situation, and I think a little while after that was when you joined in. Was it? I can't remember. It was quite a minute ago.
I think, yeah, things eventually culminated. We sent a bunch of emails back and forth. Eventually we got well, there's a bunch of clues we had to solve, but eventually there was a thing we had to download containing your own RPG Maker game, was it?
Yeah.
Yeah, how'd you make that?
It was my own RPG Maker game that was able. It was like a preview for Found Forest. Essentially, you were able to roam around the area, but you weren't able to do anything or interact with anything. And the only way you could actually do that was if you set your date and time on your computer's clock to September 16th, 2007.
Mm-hmm.
Which I thought was really cool at the time. I don't know if other people did.
I see a young Seru here and a red woman.
That's Cherry. She's very nice.
I bet.
She's about to kick ass in the coming cutscene.
Looks like a happy family. I hope nothing happens to them. And I believe
nothing at all will bad happen.
Nothing bad will happen to this family. But I believe the implication here between the name Found Forest as opposed to Lost Forest. This is the forest where Seru lives. In the past.
Indeed.
I'm gonna touch the flesh now. Tell me about this cutscene.
This cutscene took so fucking long to make, you do not even know. Well, the cutscene after, the cutscene after the chase that's coming up, I believe.
Alright, there's more. I'm now glitched Suki. I've endured a fake menu screen, main menu screen.
I was really proud of that. I thought it was cool.
Oh,
I thought
fuck.
it was like some Doki Doki shit.
Right, I just got teleported All right. Third chase phase. Who made the music here?
Dream Popper made the music here, although I believe
For the chase phase?
yeah, I believe they go under a different username now, but
They do. They go by Fumin.
yeah, but they made the music here, as well as making the music for just the general Found Forest theme.
Okay, I cannot pause before I get to this. Oh, I got caught again.
You could probably look into it and say that my code's a fucking mess.
Alright, cutscene time.
This cutscene took, I believe, 2 months to make. 1 month to storyboard and another month to actually, like, animate in RPG Maker, and it was just, like, non-stop working on it. There's a section in this cutscene that has, like, spray paint-ish animation, which isn't digital. I actually went out with my dad and we did like stencils and stuff that I printed out and cut.
Yeah? Here's the part. It's really cool.
We actually did like stop motion stuff. It was really really fun.
That's incredible. And finale. Music by Dream Popper and Namedude. So what music tracks did you make and which did Dream Popper make?
Shit, I forget. One of them. Fuck, which one did I make? I think like some of the ambient tracks, like when
Yep, like this one happening right now after the cutscene.
No, like when after you get caught by the open eye and you're just waiting to get like chased and stuff.
Okay.
That I made. The reason why all of the old like NPCs are here is not only to get a sense of finality, but like I feel like a lot of these NPCs would call this place home. Like this is where they all live and they all kind of like scouted about
after the
open eye
incident
appeared. So yeah, basically everything's fine now.
Everything's happy. Nothing bad's ever gonna happen again to any of these characters.
Well, nothing bad's ever gonna happen again to Seru, Olive, and Cherry. I want their story to be over. So they're all good now.
I'm confused. Is Cherry alive now, or?
Well, Cherry's alive now. Olive's alive now. Seru's alive now. They're all good. But the open eye is coming after a new target.
Oh boy.
So
is there going to be like a purple character?
With the open eye, it just won't have anything to do with Seru, Olive, or Cherry.
A yellow character, maybe? Maybe a.
I don't know. Maybe. I don't know.
Maybe.
I don't know.
Well, there is one more world that you have made that I want to check out.
Oh yeah, my first world.
Yes. Not really connected to the story that much, but it does introduce some of the characters. It's my understanding. I am here now in Violet Galaxy.
This is Violet Galaxy. The reason I made this world is to figure out if they actually do accept literally anyone to make a world in Yume. So, for the longest time I had played Yume, like, just without any sort of English translation, just all in Japanese. So whenever I would make a new save file and it would pop up, you know, the little thing would pop up saying like, oh, anyone can create a world for Yume. I never knew what that said. So, because it was all in Japanese and I can't really read Japanese very well. But until Yume Online and I made an account there, I was actually able to read it and I was like, anyone?
So you took it into your own hands and
yeah, I just was like, fuck it, I'll try, and it worked. And now I'm I'm in this position.
Nice.
So
What an incredible position to be in, I will say. I love all of your works and all of the
thank you
works
so
that
much.
everybody has put into creating this awesome game.
Honestly, I
Anyway,
don't believe
time for
that
spooky
there
shit.
is.
Sorry, you don't
Oh
believe that
yeah,
there is what?
I don't believe that there's a bad world in Yume. I
Me
believe
neither.
every single world in Yume has some sort of value,
Exactly.
and that people who like bash or shit on other Yume worlds, especially worlds created by new creators, uh, don't really see the point of Yume. It's an art gallery. It's a place for everyone to just be able to share what's on their mind, and I feel like gatekeeping that is dumb. Don't do that.
Exactly. I'm about to get fucked up by this OpenAI type beat. Oh, I got something from him. Never mind. I'm back outside now and refuse to go in. Very spooky. It's the first instance of the OpenAI ever, right?
Yep, this is the first time I ever used the OpenAI. I originally wanted the OpenAI to be a victim, like a victim of something larger, but then I realized the OpenAI is super fucking creepy, so I was just like, he's the bad guy.
And there's the blinking Cyclops animation you were talking about. I actually forgot to go back to the start of Found Forest after the cutscene. But I know that there's a little developer, little Cyclops over there, who was
Yeah.
instrumental in the in the ARG. So a little nod to us.
Oh yeah, the
ARG
Cyclops is very, very
Yeah.
important.
Will we be seeing more of the Cyclops in the future?
Cyclops?
Yes.
He's pretty much done with as well as, Seru Olive Cherry. He's like a retired character, basically.
All right. Well, I can't wait to see what you're cooking up next, in terms of new characters, new stories, familiar faces, maybe new locations.
Thank you.
I really like the lore that you're building around these worlds. I think you're doing something very unique here in Yume, and thank you for giving me your time today.
No problem, man.
Mm-hmm. Is there anything else you want to say? I know that you're working on another web series currently at the moment.
Yeah,
I am working on
currently working on a web series set in the Slenderman mythos, which is something you probably haven't heard in a while, called To Make Amends. Just all in one word, To Make Amends. So if you're into found footage stuff, or like creepy type stuff, check that out if you want. I don't know. I'm not your dad. You can do whatever you want. Another thing I'd like to say, just in general, is don't be afraid to do things. Don't be afraid to just go out and make something. Don't be afraid to go out and make something cool. Because I see so many people being like, oh, I really want to make this, I really want to make a Yume world, but I don't think I'm worthy enough. You're fucking worthy enough. Do it.
Exactly.
Like, I sound like that guy who was like, just do it, but like, I mean it. Go ahead and make a Yume world. Because not only did it work for me, because I had a lot of fun making it, and people liked it from what I know, but you'll have a lot of fun. It doesn't matter if your graphics are great. It doesn't matter if, like, everything you make in it is, like, top tier. As long as you have fun, then that's what matters. So, just go ahead and do it, man.
My sentiments exactly. I think that Yume is a wonderful game with a lot of wonderful people and creators behind it. If you can't make a world, contribute some music or contribute a wallpaper, contribute anything that you want. This game's always accepting submissions of a lot of different art mediums, and I and a lot of people value everything that gets into this game to make it big. Keeps getting bigger. You know, it's up to like what, 4 gigabytes now? I remember when it was only 500 megs. It's crazy. Crazy how much this game has grown and will exactly. Exactly. I can't
I
wait
think I
to
said that on the YNO server once.
Yeah. Well, anyway, thank you for joining me.
No problem, man.